You know, it's really interesting how the government finds all sorts of ways to get their hands on our money. It would be awesome if we had a superhero-like protector for our savings, someone that can block any incoming attacks.
Blocked! You have been blocked! You have been virtually blocked!
In the UK, we have something that comes pretty close to that, in the form of a rapper named ISA. I've just realized that I sound like a hype man setting up a new rapper for his new mixtape, but whatever, let's go with it. Anyway, I'm Phil and I've been investing for like a decade now, both in different countries and in the UK since 2017. I'm all about learning and growing, and that's why I started this channel, to share everything I've learned over the years and to keep you amazing people in the loop with anything new that I come across. So let's get into it. ISA stands for Individual Savings Account, and it's honestly a massive game changer. Seriously, not many countries have something as amazing as this. It's like a hidden gem of the world that only a lucky few people get to enjoy. So here's the thing. An ISA is a super tax efficient way to save and invest your money. Now you might be wondering, why is it so great? Well, that's because any gains that you make inside of the ISA wrapper is free from the grips of the taxman. Yep, you heard me right. That means zero tax of any kind. And to add to that, if you decide to withdraw the money from the ISA, you still don't have to pay any taxes on it. It's like a magical paradise for your savings. So with that said, it should really be the first place savers consider putting their money. It's just way too good to pass up. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated in any new future videos. Now, let's explore the different types of ISAs. When it comes to ISAs, there's a whole array of options to choose from. It's like stepping into an ice cream shop with endless flavors and possibilities. Because you see, there isn't just one type of ISA. No. That would be too easy. There are multiple flavors to choose from, each with its own unique perks. Because ISAs are so amazing, the government sets limits on how much you can stash into your ISA each tax year, while still enjoying the tax-free benefits. So now let's get into the most relevant ones that you should really have on your radar. First and foremost, we have the Stocks and Shares ISA, which from now on I'll be calling the SNS ISA because honestly, it's taken me forever to get out Stocks and Shares ISA. So this account provides an excellent shelter for your investment returns. So you can contribute up to £20,000 into your ISA each tax year. That is an awesome thing if you ask me, because it allows you to invest any amount that you have up to that limit and enjoy some potentially great returns. But it doesn't stop there. With this account, you have the power to choose the investments that you want to include. It makes you like the captain of your financial ship, steering it towards the assets and opportunities that align with your financial strategy and goals. Now, let's talk about where you can open an SNS account. You can choose to open your account with banks, stockholders, fund management companies, or investment platforms. Each one of these options has its own unique features and offerings, which I'll be diving into later in this video. But it's all about finding the right fit for you and what you want. Whether you're a seasoned investor with larger sums of money and want to be a more active investor, or you're just starting out and have smaller amounts and you want to be more of a passive investor. The second option we have are cash ISAs. These are similar to your normal savings account with some added benefits. Here's what you need to know. Think of a cash ISA as an upgraded version of a regular savings account. The best part of it, you don't have to pay any income tax on the interest that you gain in the account. It's like a sweet little bonus that adds up over time. Both SNS and cash ISAs share the same allowance of £20,000 a year. That means that you have the flexibility to spread your allowance over any combination of the different types of ISAs, depending on your financial goals and preferences. It's like having the power to create your own unique ISA strategy. But there is an important rule that you need to know about, and that is you can't pay into more than one ISA of the same type in the same tax year. So if you have a cash ISA already in one place that you've been contributing to this year, you can't open another one elsewhere and start contributing into that one. It's a bit of a one ISA at a time kind of rule. So let's get into how to open a cash ISA. It's a pretty straightforward process. You can open it at banks, building societies, or financial institutions, either online or in person at a branch. It's all about choosing the option that suits your convenience and personal preferences. Last but not least, we have the Lifetime ISA, or LISA. The LISA made its debut in 2017 and was specifically designed to help first-time home buyers to save for a deposit. It's sold as like a golden ticket to achieving home ownership dreams. Now here's the interesting part of it. You have the option to choose between a cash LISA and an SNS license. Depending on your preferences and risk appetite, you can choose the one that best aligns with your financial goals. When it comes to a LISA, the allowance differs from regular ISAs because in a tax year, you're only allowed to contribute up to £4,000. In an exciting twist, the government adds a bonus of 25% to whatever the amount you put in is. So if you max your LISA contribution of £4,000, the government will add an extra £1,000, meaning that you've saved £5,000. It's like free money sprinkled on top of your savings. Now let's talk about what you're actually allowed to do with the LISA. You have two main options. First, you can save up for a deposit on your first home, which honestly it is a good way to accelerate your way into home ownership. Second, you can also save up for your retirement with a ISA, although I should say that a traditional pension is probably better for these types of situations. However, there are important rules to keep in mind. The first is to make a deposit on your first home, but the property must not be valued above £450,000. The second reason is to fund your retirement. Withdrawals for any other reason would result in punishment from the government, which is that you would lose the bonus you received and you'd also pay a 5% government charge. To really understand how an ISA works, let me take you on a journey that will hopefully bring it more to life. Imagine you're a gardener, ready to embark on a remarkable gardening adventure. You start by planting a seed, a tiny investment with great potential. The seed represents your initial investment in an ISA. As a dedicated gardener, you tend to your investment, nurturing it with care and attention. You add fertilizers over the years, feeding it with your contributions. These fertilizers act as fuel for growth, allowing your sapling to grow into a magnificent tree. But here's where the magic of the ISA comes into play. Picture a vast garden filled with various investment accounts, each representing a different approach to managing your money. In a general investment account, the taxman plays the role of a villain who can't resist to take a share of the fruit that comes from your tree. The taxman comes from time to time, shaving a bit off the top and taking some of the fruits from the tree. This constant interference limits the growth of your investments and reduces the overall yield you can enjoy over the years. It's like having a bountiful tree but with a portion of its fruits continuously snatched away. But this is where the ISA comes in and creates a protective shield around your investment garden. With the ISA as your guardian, the taxman is kept at bay, unable to lay a finger on your investment fruits. The ISA acts as a force field, shielding your investments from taxation. It lets your seed grow naturally, undisturbed from the taxman's desires. Basically, the beauty of the ISA is that it allows your investments to reach its maximal potential. It's important to know that there are costs involved, especially when it comes to the SNS ISAs. These costs can vary depending on the provider you choose and the investments you hold inside of the ISA. For example, one cost that you might come across is the annual provider charge. This is a fee that the provider charges you each year. It's usually a percentage of your portfolio. It can range anywhere from 0 to 0.45% per year. So when you're comparing different providers, make sure to really understand their charges because it can add up over time. If you decide to invest in funds in your ISA, there might be an initial charge of the annual fund manager charge. This charge is specific to the funds that you choose and can vary quite a bit. It can be as low as 0.10% and go up to even 2%, but the higher end is quite rare these days. Another thing to keep in mind is that some providers may charge you when you buy and sell investments on the platform. These fees will be different depending on the provider, so it's super important to pay attention to these costs because they can really eat away at your investment returns over time. Usually, these costs are deducted on a monthly basis and come right out of your investment portfolio. Choosing the right provider for your investments can feel overwhelming because there are so many options out there. I'll go more in depth in some providers in another video, but I'll break down some important factors to consider when making your decision. First off, let's talk about the costs. You'll want to compare the overall costs between different providers. You'll want to ask yourself things like, are their fees competitive? It's essential to understand the fees that you'll be paying, including any annual charges and transaction fees, because you want to make sure that your money is working for you without any excessive costs eating away at your returns. Next up is the range of investment choices they have. Take a look at the variety of funds, shares, and other investment options that these providers offer. Do they have what you're looking for? It's important to find a provider that aligns with your financial goals and offers the types of investments that you're interested in. Now, you have to consider whether you want to be more hands-off or hands-on. Some providers offer managed portfolios where professionals can choose the investments that go in and out of that fund. On the other hand, if you enjoy making your own investment choices, you'll want a provider that allows you that freedom. Think about what suits your style and comfort level when it comes to managing your investments. Ease of use is also key. I cannot stress this enough. You want a provider with a platform that's easy to navigate and use. Things like, can you access your portfolio easily through an app or a user-friendly website? Having convenient access to your investment information is crucial, so look for providers that offer user-friendly platforms. Last but not least, let's talk about support. It's important to have reliable support when you need help or have questions about your investments. Check how responsive and helpful their customer service team is. Consider their reputation for assisting customers and providing guidance for your financial journey. And that's all for this video. Now you have a general understanding of an ISA and can go out there and find an ISA that fits you. But now that you know about ISAs, you might be wondering to yourself, what kind of investments do I go into? Well, in this video right here, I talk about 4 different types of investments that you can go into to reach those financial goals. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.